nice to have.
You two ready?
Suggested that, yes, we
Yeah,
are
we're ready.
We
Okay.
are ready. I suggested earlier to Soren that maybe Masquerade could be masqueraded for the people who are in game, but not for viewers. This way, people, the
Right.
viewers can always know who's who.
And I think that would be a very good idea.
Oh, hey, we made it in.
Excellent.
Yay.
All right. Well, we see PB doing a little bit of scouting, finding some water in the middle, finding some iron to the northeast, and some aluminum to the northwest. Certainly could consider getting a found on all that, but not anything great yet. Indecision seeing very similar things. Just a little more silicon to the south. We can expect quite a bit of that in these sand dune areas.
Yeah, this is one of these tiny small maps where a big
Yeah.
chunk of canyon. So
Spires of Doom, as I like to think of them, but
interesting found by
whoa,
Pbhead.
PB very aggressive with that. And Indecision, I think, just put himself in all kinds of trouble.
Where's his?
Exactly.
Oh, I had it backwards. I was interesting found by Indecision. Where is he going to get his iron from?
Nowhere, because PB decided to kill all of it.
Yeah.
This founding, it's half the
Wow.
game. I mean,
man.
both of them had options, but man, that was a huge risk by Indecision.
Why did he found there?
Look at the scavenger spot over there.
Oh, there's a beautiful
Oh.
scavenger spot at the bottom.
I know, it was so nice,
Shades
all
of
that carbon.
Shades of the Cubit Zap game where people, found it a little bit too early when there was this great scavenger spot no one found on the map.
For all those who
definitely.
cannot hear, my heart just broke a little for Indecision.
I know.
Looking at the scavenger
Oh, man,
spot, like,
though.
oh no.
That is so classic PB, though, from what I've been seeing. He absolutely loves to get aggressive at every moment he has the option. And so in this particular case, noticing, man, I can get literally all the iron.
I think he
That's
went.
not a bad move. That's a very aggressive move. I mean, it's a good
Oh yeah,
move
yeah.
for
I think he went expansive. Almost expansive is the essentially generic
Colony expanded.
HQ. So if you have a sudden decision to make, which is just like my opponent founded, I see where his iron is, I can grab it, but I don't have time to actually think through what's the best headquarters for me. Just slap an expansive down, grab those tiles, you'll probably be fine. Right?
Yeah, it's a fair point. I mean, I don't know. It is such a huge risk in these 1v1 scenarios, putting your scientific down so far away from that crucial iron. I don't know if, well, we can see what happened with it
I
here.
understand him. He's saying, I don't like these kinds of games. Being kind of aggressive is a game. It's another kind of game. You're just playing, aggressive.
don't-
I do understand what he's saying. He
You
wants to
don't
see it
get
being-
this kind of aggressiveness outside of the two-player. Two-player is very
Yeah.
different.
It's
In
true.
a four-player or more
One
game,
game.
you wouldn't counter found like this so quickly. First of all, the map's gonna be bigger. There's just gonna be more stuff. So the two-player game is just a little different, and it's definitely for people who like an aggressive style. But
Certainly.
yeah, like you gotta. I really believe it's scientific. You need to found next to your
Black
iron.
market is online.
What
It's
can
just,
Indecision do
it's a
right now? I
requirement.
mean, if I were Indecision, I'd go into water, try to sell my water, and buy iron right now. I don't
Yeah.
know, just
Well,
anything. Just whatever.
It's sort of
I
a
can
good
do.
mental exercise to try to figure out what you could do. I mean, I guess you would upgrade, go for hacker array, and just hack, do everything you can, just keep surplusing steel. That's basically all I can think of. I mean, what else is he gonna do?
Maybe his best option. I mean, he also has a small advantage when it comes to the aluminum income, and frankly, the game just gave him a nice little boost
Oh wow!
based on that with this aluminum shortage. So maybe he can use that to get something done. PB even selling out of it a bit early.
I just saw an immediate sell. I guess that was it. So that was from Pbhead, huh?
Yeah, definitely. Indecision sitting on about 5,000 right now. We'll see what he can do with it. He has a water pump down, going ahead and getting to a glass furnace and a reactor. I am a bit concerned about this because steel is going to be his problem. Reactors cost 40 steel. That's absolutely insane. 40 steel again on something like the glass furnace. On the other hand, if he had moved into a simple farm, it's only 10 steel and 20 glass. Definitely a far cheaper building at this stage of the game, and something he needs to be concerned about because he just does not have good enough access to that steel.
Iron is $10.
It was
I mean,
nine.
he can just buy a bunch of iron.
He can just make steel, and I think that once again, Indecision's completely just not considering that. He thinks of himself as a scientific player. He
Yep.
wants to dig those resources from the map. But Pbhead, seeing that Indecision doesn't have steel production down, he can just keep selling the iron that he had, and he did, and dropped that price so far.
I mean,
the
that's
aluminum shortage. He could have sold some aluminum and bought the steel, the iron, when it was $9.
yeah.
And
I mean,
made it.
I really like going hacker here because not only do you potentially save yourself, but that's also Pbhead's big source of income right now is iron
Whoa.
and steel.
Okay, here we go.
Oh well, all right.
Here we
Hands
go.
on.
Look, like Indecision, I think he's made some serious mistakes already this game, but this could save him from himself
Sure.
if he uses it correctly. But he has to go for it.
This right here is the argument for keeping this type of thing in the game.
Oh, certainly,
Does not
certainly.
have a huge debt. He can take the debt right now.
Well, he's got no choice. So I'm fascinated to see how high this is.
Yeah, I don't know how high
I could
this is
see
going to go.
30. I could see 30 easily.
24, 30. I'd go at least 28.
24,000.
I would go to 28 if I was Pbhead.
Yeah, I think PB could have pushed to 28, but on the other hand, I can see maybe in PB's head, he's sitting here thinking, man, I'm already level 3. I have the iron I need.
Yeah, and he can nuke that tile.
And he can just nuke it later if he really has to. So it's just, maybe he's just thinking, you know what, I have a good lead. I don't need to throw it away doing anything stupid. In terms of this particular tile. Indecision still with one claim left over. I believe he's been purchasing them. And he's going to go for a water pump with that.
That's
Who got that claim? There were 2 claims purchased. Who got those?
Well,
probably Indecision. It seems like he does have claims all over. But
thankfully, we can check on that since you informed me about that earlier. Pbhead got the cheap claim for 4,000.
Oh.
Indecision, the more expensive one for 6.
The black market is online.
So hard to keep up with those particular black market
The black
effects.
market is online.
yeah, well, Pbhead founded second, and he's expansive, so he got a full 3 extra claims by getting to level 3, and with the one from the black market, that's 4 extra claims on top of what you would normally get. So you can see with that, he was able to grab carbon, a medium carbon. He was able to grab just a low silicon. I guess he just wanted to make sure he had some.
That's
He's got
saying
plenty of
something
tiles.
amazing. If he
definitely.
nukes the iron tiles, it will raise crazy high, and he can sell the iron for the same price as steel.
But only if Indecision actually decides to put down some steel mills, which is something that he has remained so reluctant to do this whole time.
I just wish
done
you would
that
have
yet.
tried to surplus the iron or steel. The other nice thing is you can surplus either. It's not like a scavenger where you're locked into carbon. Like maybe Indecision is worried and he's going to I'll short steel. I mean that may or may not be good for him because the Pbhead could decide to try to short steel. Well, Indecision can just surplus iron and make the steel himself and make a big profit off of it.
Yeah, especially because PB's already committed the 2 tiles to iron production.
Right.
Indecision still has a slight advantage when it comes to that, even as the scientific. I mean, it's just...
Well, his steel mills are up.
Finally. Only 2 of them again. And,
Yeah.
PB's already level 4. It's still not looking pretty, but he's dragging himself back in.
Yeah, I mean, in this case, it's kind of bad luck in the sense that those tiles are kind of hemmed in. There's no way for him to get a triangle there without basically committing to 2 new tiles.
I think all of that, I don't know, like bad luck is an interesting, well, another iron auction. That's interesting. I don't think it's bad luck. I think it was a poor found that's causing him all of his current issues right now,
I certainly agree with that, but that's not. I don't know how else to put it. That's
And
not
including
how
the
he got into
triangle,
trouble with
right?
steel mills.
Yeah.
I mean, beyond the location,
Doesn't
don't
matter.
found in craters.
I know. Not
It
unless you have a
leads to
real
all
good
sorts of
reason.
Problems. Yeah, exactly.
Like, sometimes scavengers have a real good reason for doing it, and it's okay. Sometimes scientists have a real good reason, but man, if you're going to drop yourself into a crater, you better know exactly what you're doing with it.
Especially in a 2-player game where it's just so easy for them to see exactly where they can found to mess you up. Oh, exactly where they can grab some random claim to mess you up.
Mm-hmm. Well, we see the auction went over to Indecision. He's actually going to decide to put a solar panel on it, something I don't actually object to. Iron's not that expensive. He didn't need to wait for all of this iron production to get his steel rolling in, and he's not going to have any problems with that, I think, with iron only at 22, steel valued at 101, so the solar panel likely a good use of this tile. All right, EMP onto Pbhead, right in between his steel mills and his glass furnaces. That's definitely a good hit. Those are very nice buildings for PB to have online, but unfortunately, PB already level 4. Spreading out his buildings appropriately, his reactors are still going to be chugging away.
Yeah, Indecision does have a 3rd steel mill up. Not optimal, but at least it's there.
Well, That's better than last time then. Interestingly enough, PB, not caring about his aluminum production, says, I've got enough of that for now. And he's just going to power surge out Indecision Steel now that he finally decided to get some down.
Well, that makes sense.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. And PB with just a little bit of carbon here, a little bit of silicon there. I really like how he's kind of realized, I can just make sure I'm completely secure this game.
Yep.
And play it out very, very safe. We are not seeing all kinds of crazy plays out of PB, right? Just basic expansion, and taking the basic resources and just chugging along.
It'll be a level 5 very, very soon. Probably within a minute, I would guess. Yep, his upgrade button just flipped on, and...
Well, he may not be overly concerned about it. Like, the upgrade would cost him a lot of money right now in aluminum, some in glass, some in steel still. He may be wanting to save that cash and make sure that if something like a shortage comes up, he'll be okay. He may be wanting a black market purchase, actually grabbing up a goon squad, so just not willing to commit to it yet. Indecision does finally hit level 3. And he's going to take up pretty much all the rest of the water that he can manage, and still going into these reactors. And a couple farms finally coming down. There's the level 5 for PB, though. Let's see what he does. Whoa. That is a lot of ice condensers coming down. Are we going to see some water shorting? That's almost what I have to expect out of these ice condensers.
That's very interesting.
Very strong play against the scientific.
Indecision has plenty of water available to him, but of course he's only using so much of it.
Yeah.
It has water.
Yeah, I think he'll maybe have like one water pump up after all is said and done here.
Yeah, Indecision is losing 1.8 water a second, and we'll find out soon how much water Pbhead is gaining.
Oh, this is the other huge thing. Something we almost passed over entirely this game is I believe the first auction that came up was in fact Cold Fusion.
Oh yeah, who got that? I don't even remember.
Indecision got that. That's where his water consumption is coming from. The fact that he's having to use it to power all of his buildings. And so Pbhead, if he's going for this water short, then this could be real interesting.
That's right. I kept noticing you. It seems like he keeps putting down water pumps. I wasn't quite sure why. And yeah, for sure, he's got that water consumption.
Yeah. Yep, Hacker Ray is up and already goon squatted. I think this has to be a water short. It's the only thing reasonable to be doing. Pbhead also choosing to go ahead and get aggressive on Indecision stock. Well, he is level 5. He's using the black market basically as often as he can, so where else is he going to put his money right now?
Yep. I'm in a situation because, well...
I have a question.
Yep.
Which one is actually better, if he found in the middle to get 100% or on water? The farm.
You mean his 3 farms in a row? Do you mean having those 3 farms there is better than what?
Having them in a triangle is better than having
I
them
would put
on
them
water?
I would put them in a triangle and buy the water.
Well, I'd put him in a diamond personally, but you know.
Well, that's true. That's true.
But it is worth noting that water is very expensive. Indecision certainly needs a whole lot of it, and so he has to be very, very careful. Are we actually having food surpluses come out? That's interesting.
Is that what he's doing?
Yeah.
So he's afraid of those farms.
Apparently.
I mean, he doesn't have farms. So
yeah, I mean, this is acceptable, certainly, but not the type of play we usually see out of PB.
Really conservative play. I mean, he can go for the win here.
Price manipulation.
I guess I can understand it. Once again, he can just be patient, and that's okay. He doesn't need the shortages to be making huge amounts of money, and so he's just making sure Indecision literally just doesn't have anything to fight with.
Yep. And there it is. The price is dropping. That is definitely going to be hurting Indecision.
Mm-hmm. Well,
and Pbhead's already 100%.
Yeah, 100%. PB just has to make the sell happen, and he'll be good to go.
Yep. I admire Indecision for sticking out through this game. I mean, I think there are some players who might have just conceded.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. Indecision tried to make it work.
I mean,
it didn't happen.
It's not a bad play, right?
Well, I don't know. I mean, there's no harm in playing out the game. You know,
Yeah,
it's not that long. But it's not just the situation, but the emotional state you get in after you found like that and your iron disappears entirely.
Yeah.
That is hard
to deal with. Hard to come back from mentally, for sure. And I don't know, Indecision just showing no willingness, basically, to put down those steel mills and buy up that iron.
Yep. Yep.
And I think
the
it cost
option
him.
was available. I'm surprised that Pbhead actually, looking back, didn't buy up iron at that point to make sure, because the price, it was $7 or $8 at one point. It should never have gotten that low.
Well, he didn't really need to, because Indecision, once again, from the earlier game, just never did it. He did not want to put down steel mills without iron under them. Period. And maybe PB, seeing that, decides just not to care, and he'll sell off the iron to get as much of an advantage as he can push for in the early game.
It did seem to just create an opportunity for indecision that didn't need to be there, but, you know.
Yeah. Perhaps it did, but it didn't end up mattering at the end of the day.
Do you want to exit?
Yeah, sure.
Sorry, guys.
No. I'm just. I wanted to see if he wants to look at the resources, or he wants to exit and go to the chat room instead.
Yeah. Well,
Let's
black
see.
market,
He's in the
very,
room.
very little.
Good game. Definitely a good game, and they're talking in the room. Not really worth over-analyzing. Yeah, some games sometimes, it is what it is.
It's true. It is, it was a pretty simple game. PB, with the exceptionally aggressive found, cuts off Indecision from his potential iron. Indecision with not a well thought out found, perhaps. Just not considering that PB could do that and just knock his iron completely out of the game.
Maybe he hoped
Got punished.
that Pbhead hadn't found that iron since it was way up in the northeast. I mean, that's all I could really think of.
Maybe.